Hey everyone, how's it going? Welcome to my tutorial on Skool. I'll be going through the basics of how to use this great platform, from simply creating posts to generating entire classrooms to display to your audience. And by the end of this video, you'll have a great understanding on how you can utilize Skool and its great features. Now, if I do catch your interest with Skool throughout this video, I do have a special link in the description that will give you a 14-day free trial with Skool. Check it out if you'd like. So before I show you how you can create your own community, I'll give you a quick run through what you can expect your classroom to look like. So starting off on the dashboard here, there are some tabs we can look at. First being the community tab, and people within this community can add their own post. So for example, if I go ahead and click write something here, I can give a title to my post and write whatever I want to write. I can also add an attachment, a link, a video, a poll, emojis, GIFs, and I can even select a category. And as you can see, there are plenty of existing posts already that you can go ahead and have a look at or reply to. So let's say I wanted to go ahead and reply to a post. I'll click the post, I'll go ahead and scroll all the way down here, and then I can go ahead and add my comment. And on the right here, as you can see, they have a logo for their community as well as a description. They also have relevant links linking to wherever they want them to go. So for example, they have a merch store, a help center, and a hiring page. And if you did want to go ahead and choose between the categories this community has, you can go ahead and choose between these categories here. So that is pretty much the overview of what your community can look like. So now we can go ahead and click on the classrooms area, where as you can see, there are multiple classrooms we can have a look at. There's one on how to use Skool. There's one that explains how these Skool subscriptions work. So here it shows you how you can set up your payments and what the subscription costs are and how they work. Now you can do this with anything. You can choose to make this an introduction page to a potential course that you are selling. It basically just works as a course area for you to display your information. So I'm now going to go ahead and show you how you can create your own community. So first off, you want to go ahead in the top here and click the arrow button and simply just click create a community. Once you are here, you can go ahead and give your group a name. And then once you've done that, you want to go ahead and input your card. So if you did click my link, you will get a free 14 days using Skool. And then after that, you will have to pay $99 a month. But as it reassures here, you can cancel any time and there are no hidden fees. So within this 14-day period, you can decide whether or not Skool is right for you. But once you've filled in everything, you want to go ahead and click start free trial. And then you should be taken to your community. So as you can see, there are a couple of things that you can check off. So you can invite 3 people, add a group description, set a cover image, or write your first post. All very self-explanatory stuff. So to start off, you can go ahead and click the settings option, and then you can choose to add an icon and upload your own cover. For this example, I'm just going to go ahead and use my logo. I can then choose to change my group name. So let's say I wanted to change it from something different that I initially put. You can simply just do that. You can also get a custom URL for your community. However, you do have to upgrade. So once you do pay $99 per month, you can gain access to this feature. Then you can go ahead and give yourself a group description. So I'm going to go ahead and type in welcome to my community. Obviously you want to put something a little bit more better than that. And then you can choose to add your initials and choose a color for that as well. So let's say you didn't have an icon, you can simply just add your initials. So mine will be AF. And then you can choose a color. But if you do have an icon, then this is obviously irrelevant. You can also choose between whether or not your classroom is private. So only people within your group can see what you post. And then obviously the opposite, which is public. That means everyone can see and comment and post on your community. And then once you are happy with how everything looks, you can go ahead and click update settings to make sure everything works. And then if we go back to our community here, as you can see, all the stuff that we've just added has now been incorporated into our community. So we have an icon. Our name is now changed and we have a description. Now a cool thing with Skool is you can actually charge people to have access to your community. So as of now, as you can see, it is only free. If you did want to go ahead and add a price, you can go ahead and click add price, and then you need to go ahead and connect your bank account. Very simple stuff. You just need to go ahead and follow the prompts that are shown on screen. And then of course, once you've added your bank account, you can go ahead and add a price tag. Then there is categories. So as you can see, by default, you get the general discussion category. If I go ahead and go back here, general discussion, you can go ahead and delete that and add your own. So let's say, for example, I wanted a category on feedback. I'll go ahead and type that like so. Go ahead and give it a description and then give permissions to who can view this. So this can be anyone or only admins and mods. Once I'm happy, I can go ahead and click add. And then if I go ahead and go back to the dashboard here, as you can see, I now have a new category called feedback. You can then choose to also add your own plugins. Now to unlock chat, you do have to reach level 2. This prevents people from coming in and just spamming a bunch of stuff within the Skool community. To get level 2, all you need to do is simply just contribute to the community, which I think is a great little feature to reduce spam. Then if we have a look at the metrics tab, this is pretty self-explanatory. It shows the total amount of members, how many are active, and daily activity. You can change the activity from monthly to weekly to daily. And then on the gamification tab, you can go ahead and add levels to your community. So this is a cool little feature that entices people to go ahead and want to level up instead of just having everything on a plate in front of them. There's a reason to go ahead and level up to maybe reach another course or another video area. So what we can do is give names to these levels. So example for level 1, I can go ahead and call this starter. And then I'll go ahead and click save. And then there you go. So everyone who comes in will have the level 1 starter role. And of course you would want to go ahead and edit all these and adjust them to your liking. And what you can also do with these levels is allow them to unlock certain courses once they hit that level. I'll better explain this once we get to the course area. Then there is the links area. So you can simply just add a link. So I'll go ahead and click add link. I can give it a label. So let's say this is my merch page. I can then go ahead and add my URL, which is just my YouTube channel for demonstration purposes. Then I can choose to make it either private or public. I'll go ahead and make this public and then click add. So then back on my dashboard, as you can see, now that I've added a link, people can click this merch link and it will direct them to wherever you want them to get directed to. So now we're going to go ahead and look at the classroom area. So this is where you can go ahead and add your own courses, which is a very important area. You want to go ahead and click on new course and give your course a name. So I'm going to go ahead and label everything as test, so I can just explain and show you can create your own course. So course name, give yourself a description as well. And then you can choose who can actually have access to this course. So let's say instead of test, I can go ahead and call this intro. So everyone has access to this course because it's just an introduction. I can go ahead and leave this as all members have access. However, let's say this was more of an important course for people who are of a certain level, who have shown that they're very active within my community. You can go ahead and choose members of a certain level, and you can go ahead and choose that level. So let's say people that are level 5, which means they're obviously very active within my community, will get access to this course, which is a cool little feature that they have. Then you can also go ahead and add your own cover, so you can upload a photo like so. And then of course you can either keep this as published so everyone can see it, or you can keep it as a draft and then finish this later. Once you are happy, you can go ahead and click add. So now if I were to go ahead and click on my classroom area, people can see that there is an intro course that they can click on. So you start off with a new set and a new module. You can of course edit this by clicking the little pencil option here. You can change the title of this, so I'm going to go ahead and call it intro. I can then add a video, so I can get a link from YouTube, Loom, Wistia, and just simply add this here and then click add and it will display it. So I'm just going to go ahead and add a video of Skool, and then there you go, it's now added. I can also add a description under this video, so let's say I wanted to add something random like test. I can do that. I can choose to highlight it, give it an italic, put a line through it, basic stuff. I can also choose to add an image or even a link. And on top of that, I can also add some files such as a resource link, resource file, or a transcript. So let's say you have a PDF for a certain reason, you can add your PDF here and they can obviously download it and view it. Then once you are happy with your set, you can go ahead and click save. And that is the first module for this course. And of course you can add more by simply clicking the 3 dots here. You can go ahead and add module, delete, or even edit one as well. And of course you can have multiple courses. As far as I'm aware, you have unlimited courses, so you can really have more than 100 if you desire. And there really is a lot you can do within these courses, so just take some time to figure out what you want within your courses. Then we can go ahead and look at the calendar area, where you can go ahead and specify certain things for certain dates. So let's say I wanted to add something on Wednesday the 1st. I can go ahead and click the plus option, give it a title, so let's say it's just a meeting for a certain thing. I can go ahead and call it meeting. I can give it a date, a time, the duration, so how long this meeting may last for, so it can last for an hour or even up to 3 hours. It is entirely up to you. And then you can choose the time zone, so you can kind of help people that are obviously from different time zones figure out when this meeting is. You can choose to make this a reoccurring event, so every Wednesday this will happen. You can also add a link, so you can add a Zoom link, a Google Meeting link, an address, or just a link in general. You can give it a description, and just like the course area, you can go ahead and add your own cover, and you can choose to who can actually attend this event. So it can be all members, members at a certain level, or members within the course. And you can choose to tick whether or not this reminds all your members by email one day before. So this is a cool little handy feature that keeps people in check to remember that there is a meeting on a certain date. Then of course, once you are happy, you can go ahead and click add. And then once you click add, as you can see, it is now displayed here for everyone to go ahead and view. So if I go ahead and click this, as you can see, it shows the cover that I added, the title, which is meeting, and it shows it's today at 11:30 to 12:30 a.m. Sydney time. and it has the link to whatever you want to go ahead and add. So if this was a Zoom link, it will display that, of course. All very easy stuff. Now we can go ahead and have a look at the members area, which, as you can see, it shows the amount of members who are in your community, of course. So it shows mine here, which is Jack Arain, and it shows my description. It shows that I'm online and when I joined, and if I'm a paid member or not. You can also siphon between the amount of people that are cancelling with your community, who are churned or banned, and you can also invite people. So if I go ahead and click invite, I have a link here which I can send to people, or I can choose to just simply directly send this invite link to a certain person through email. And if I am directly sending an invite link to someone, I can choose whether or not they have access to certain courses. So I can click this here and choose what course they can receive. And then we can go ahead and look at leaderboards. So just like I showed before with the other community, it shows the leaderboard for all your community, what levels they are at and how they are going. And then if we look at the about area, you can go ahead and upload your own cover. So as you can see, I've added my own cover again. I can then also add a description to kind of explain what my community is about. And just like that, that is the end of this tutorial. Now, a couple little things that I also want to mention is in the top right here, you can access your chat area, and you can also get notifications from other communities or your own. Okay, so that is the end of this Skool tutorial. Hopefully you found use within my video and I've allowed you to create your own community for Skool. Again, if you were interested in a special offer for Skool, you can go ahead and click the link in the description down below. Thanks a lot for watching, and I hope to see you guys next time.